To breathe life into the separation of power doctrine, there is a need to amend Article 108 to allow MPs to introduce private member bills. It is not an entrenched provision of the Constitution and can be amended with a 2/3 majority. Fortunately, Speaker Professor Mike Agyapadie has signaled that even in the absence of a constitutional amendment, Parliament can address this problem. It is expected that the ongoing process to revise the Standing Orders of Parliament will contain provisions to allow MPs to introduce non-finance bills. It is necessary to amend Article 78 to allow a president to choose majority of ministers outside Parliament, and also to have a ceiling on the number of ministers required for running government. We also need to place a ceiling on the number of Supreme Court justices and to require all of them to hear all cases, especially those with constitutional ramifications. In the short term, and in the absence of a constitutional amendment, as was suggested as far back in 2003 by Professor H. Kwasi Prempeh, there is a need to develop conventions to address some of these gaps, rather than take actions that maintain the status quo or exacerbate the problem. In respect of Article 78, through a convention developed between the executive and legislature, a cap on number of ministers can be reached. Ideally, it can double the number required of a cabinet 38, excluding regional ministers. A similar convention can be adopted to provide for a ceiling on the number of Supreme Court justices to be appointed.